my attacker's back on my brain. And I was reading something. If you go to, I was reading last night something that kind of worried me. Robert Duncan was talking to Todd Giffen, I think by email, and you can go to Bill Binney and Targeted Individuals, and I think it's like the first website, it's Todd Giffen's website, where he kind of reports how Bill Binney is helping our community. And then further down, he's like emailing back and forth with Robert Duncan. And Robert Duncan, man, sometimes he really depresses the crap out of me. He's like, telling Todd, this will be an eternal battle for you, and, try and stay calm because it'll slow down the rewiring of your brain, which is what they're trying to do. And I just got really depressed with that email. The rest of the stuff is great about Bill Binney helping us, and he's been to conferences about target individuals. He's all over the media right now, and he talks to Donald Trump, and he's doing the global TI survey. So that's a very hopeful thing. Man, sometimes it's like Robert Duncan knows a lot about this because he worked on the Chatterbox technology. He worked on the stuff that they're doing the V2K, the psychic driving with. That system that is integrated into the remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulation, and then direct targeting by non-ionizing microwave radiation. But sometimes he depresses me because he's like, oh yeah, it'll end in another 20 years. Like he said 10 years back in 2012, and then he changed it in 2015 to it's going to end in 20 years. And then he says yeah, this will be an eternal battle for you, to Todd Giffen, and keep yourself calm because that'll help with the rewiring of your brain, which is what they're trying to do. I hope that he's wrong about a lot of that, and I really think that he is. I think we've got miracles that we're not even going to know how they're going to be worked out. But I don't think God's just going to leave us here. I really don't. I have a strong faith. But we've got to do stuff like this. God works through us. This is a big point for me, because I know that, people say that, all the people doing evil, they're really controlled by the adversary, by Satan. So it is spiritual warfare, right? And I agree. I agree that it's spiritual warfare. I think that the people who are spiritually evil, have a lot of technology and a lot of money, and they're attacking people who maybe have very good spirits. But you got to think, a lot of people think that Satan works through this world through evil people. So I hear a lot of Christians sometimes, and they're like, well, we'll just leave it in God's hands. I'll leave it in God's hands, and I'll get through it and whatever His will. But I kind of take the and not every Christian. A lot of Christians think like me, where God works through us. So that's why I'm always making these videos. I'm always trying to think of something to do within my means. I mean, sometimes I'm sure to the military industrial complex, the DoD, little YouTube videos are pretty a laugh and a half, but God can take these things and do what he can do with them, which would be maybe so powerful that I couldn't guess at it. The Unity and Hope Conference was known all over the world, and it was 100 TIs gathered to give presentations of something that wasn't the hugest thing in the world, but it did so much good. So God really worked through Allison on that one. I think it's Allison. Or Alicia? No, it's Allison. But I mean, that's my point, guys. So especially if you are a Christian targeted individual, don't just say well, Satan's working through the world, and probably the end times are here, so God will just do His thing. I think that it's the same thing. Satan works through people, and I think God works through people too. So God works through us in the world. So you gotta So we got to help ourselves. You know, God helps those who help themselves. And I'm going all over the place tonight. I'm being very random. I just woke up and you know, kind of, it's weird because when you do find relief, it's like your brain's trying to get back to this equilibrium. So like I did get a lot of relief from some of the remote neural manipulation, especially with Dave CD, and then blocking in my Faraday cage, you know, and then it's like your mind kind of snaps back in this way. And I realized when I was, you know, the couple of hours before I was waking up, they were able to do a little bit of directed dreaming because the headphones fell off during the night. But like towards the end of my sleep, I was like starting to be able to visualize things, and my mind was just able to wander, and it was me. Like it was just my brain working. It was me kind of, my mind wandering to some movies I'd watched the night before and things like that. So, you know, really, you know, we've got to do it consistently, because if we're always on that edge of trying to get our minds back, and the mind keeps snapping back. It was nice though, but then they started hitting me hard when I, you know, got out of the bunker. It's really nice though to kind of to see, because we get lost in the remote neural manipulation, and it's so long that they're doing it to us that we kind of, we're like, man, we don't even remember how we used to think. So it's very useful to use Dave CD. I think that, and there's a one light car right there. But we need to, I think that passive defenses are a must. You know, I've used this bunker, and the pain is just a lot less. It's still bad. It's still very hard. But like, I mean, I got up and I was able to just get up right away. Like I'll sit there for 30 minutes trying to pick myself up out of wherever I'm sleeping, and I'll be like groaning in this weird way because it's just like my body, like, and I can't catch my breath. But today I was able to just kind of get up. So I am feeling a little, I'm feeling more energetic, but it's kind of that snapback energy where I've got to kind of balance it out. Y'all can probably tell by this video. And I am going to go ahead and just put this video out, even though it's been kind of random. You know, I've remained pretty positive. And leave comments, like, if you disagree with some of my views on how all this works. You know, I don't know everything. I don't think any targeted individual knows everything. It's meant to be that way. It's meant to be on the other side, you know, so that we're not sure how everything's working. And because it's such advanced technology where it's like chatterbox that sounds like conversation, you know, you can think something for a while, like that people are there. Like, I thought for a while that people were actually on the remote station just saying things over and over. Like that they would have a conversation, and then like the ex-army guy's wife would just say things over and over, like, stop doing that to him. Like, I really didn't know how people who would murder with this kind of stuff, I didn't know how they would communicate. I didn't understand, so I just thought that it was people saying stuff over and over on a protocol. Like, we're gonna psychically drive people, we're gonna have a little script here, and we're gonna say things over and over. But then later on I found out, well, I kind of had been studying it before, but I really knew 100%, you know, this is chatterbox. This, when this happens, it's chatterbox. And then when this happens, it's somebody putting in real time, you know, voice to skull. And man, I have to say, the bunker is actually attenuating the V2K. I still hear it, but it's a lot more muffled, and that really helps me. Because it helps my brain not to focus on it. So just, God, I thank God. I thank God in the name of Jesus Christ for giving me a little bit of a boost up. And y'all can tell I'm kind of snapping back. So my mind is kind of going all over the place, but it's a good feeling, and I've just got to kind of keep doing it. And there's a one light car. I don't know if you can see it between those other cars. It's coming by here. Right there. I did get a little bit. Oh, there's a one light car, or two in a row there. I didn't get him on video though. So I'm getting to about 45 minutes, guys. I kind of needed this to be a random one. You guys know how I am. Sometimes I just pick up the camera and I'm talking about this stuff, and I just want to keep talking about it. Robert Duncan says that's our best hope. He says the courts, really can't do anything for us, which I disagree with. I think a miracle can happen there. But he says that we've got to get the public on our side. We've got to get the public understanding this. We've got to make it a household topic. It's got to be an educational thing about what is happening. And it's a slow and rigorous process. And it's just like, all you guys out there, it's like if you've been stabbed in an alleyway by a serial killer, and you got to describe what brand his knife is, and you got to describe exactly what the knife looked like, and then you got to tell the police why he would do this and go through his psychological history, and then there's a slow process of them maybe believing you. So it's insane. It's insane because that's my metaphor for it. Like being stabbed in an alleyway by a serial killer, and he runs off, and you got to describe the knife to him, and you've also got to describe the man who did it. You got to describe his childhood, and why he would do something like that. Describe his emotional state. Describe his motive of why a psychotic serial killer would do something like that. So I feel like that's where we are, which is insane. Because it's immediate bombardment of directed energy weapons, of weapons of war, every day. And for people to shrug us off or to say, hey, they're mentally ill or they're selfish or whatever, is crazy to me. Because when I am experiencing this, like other target individuals, it is external attacks all the time from military weapons. From military weapons. Just because the public isn't really learning about this. Well, a lot of them are, so that's good. But the ones who are very cynical, they just don't want to look into it because it's scary or whatever, does not mean that it isn't happening. And all that stuff is becoming a lot better. We're getting somewhere with that. But when you're being murdered, you want it to go fast. You want people to be like, okay, you're being murdered, so let's go ahead and get some agents on it, like the Cuban embassy attack. Even a year was too long for that to go on. But they did eventually get an investigation going, and gave them medical attention. And I think that should be done for all target individuals around the world. Alright guys, I'm getting to about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna get on Linda C's call. It's starting right now, and see how she's doing, see how her Thanksgiving's going. That call's on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. On TalkShoe, the PIN number is 140091 on Fridays, and it's a great call. She is a great woman, just in general, but also a fighter, a target individual who's a real fighter, and really trying to get us concretely forward, pushing us concretely forward. But all right, guys, I love y'all. I might make a video later tonight, but I did want to make a video earlier on because I knew, like, I have the conference call tonight. I always go to. I really like supporting Linda and what she's trying to do, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get something out before midnight. I'm at 29 right now, so I may just focus on putting the good information out. I might make some more random videos like this. I don't know. We'll see. I think I have 6 more days. But I'll definitely give y'all more videos. I'll definitely put more information out. This was a pretty scattered one. A lot of random thoughts. But kind of what I want it to do right now. Alright guys, I love y'all. God is behind us. And I will definitely see you on the next one.